All right, welcome. This is going to be Black Lodge Trivia Night, trying out Starfield. I did not pay the $30 enjoy it over the holiday weekend fee, so I'm one of the peasants that had to wait until today to give it a shot, now that the whole world of streaming and YouTube and the internet has probably moved on to the next game, because of course this is old news at this point. But I thought, I would just go in cold. I have no idea what this game is like, and I'd see what it was all about. So, I'm going to start with a new game. Yes, I'm on PC, but I tend to do a lot of these games with a controller, so I'm going to start that way. And if it gets to be annoying, maybe I'll switch to mouse and keyboard.
Seals are good. Oxygen's good. Just do what you did last time, and you're fine. Follow my one simple rule. Hella, what's my one simple rule?
Listen to Lynn. Boss lady knows best.
Exactly. Listen to me. Mining's just like any other job. Go steady, go safe, go home with a pocket full of credits at the end of the day.
Yeah, totally. It's just like, working the Stardock. Except with more cave-ins, lasers, and accidental dismemberment.
Very helpful. Thank you.
You're gonna be fine. Your first outing was solid. And, let's be honest, it ain't exactly astrophysics.
That's why I keep him around. Good pep talks.
Yeah, and the fact that I can pinpoint a helium deposit from 300 meters.
Not untrue. A shame we won't find any down here. But the metal deposits alone should pay for our own helium. Hell, after this, we'll have enough jump fuel to bounce from one end of the settled systems to the next.
Hey, more minerals, more money. And so the cycle repeats itself. Just no more unauthorized jumps in the house for room space, okay?
He's just a big baby. There are worse lives. Most Dusties don't even make it this far. I have a good feeling about you.
Group hug now or at the end of the shift?
One of these days, Hella, I am going to leave you behind.
Promises, promises.
Oh, the classic fun banter exposition.
Okay, let's see what we've got. How are we on time?
A little longer. Grab some samples?
Always. But not you. Check on Isabel. Make sure she eases up on the breach. I don't feel like getting buried alive today.
Roger that.
Remember, Dusty, keep your breathing steady and never take that helmet off down here. Oxygen processors don't extend this far.
Yeah, because God forbid we drill on a rock with breathable atmosphere.
Know what I love about working in Freestyle Collective space? Fewer rays. A job like this in the United Colonies? Free of rays. Look at this one over here. Calvin! No! No. It's a laser, not a sledgehammer. Ease up! Benny, if you got paid per break, you'd be a millionaire. Let's go!
Yeah, okay.
What do we say, Dusty? You make your cut, you get your cut. No exceptions. Come on, pick it up. Troy, what's the yield?
Minimal at this point. Occasional glimmer, but it's weak.
What do you think? Stay the course?
No, ma'am. Juice ain't worth the squeeze.
Well, okay then. Let's call this one tapped. Why don't you move over to that big vein we looked at?
Yes, ma'am.
Dusty, you're up. Grab a cutter and mine what you can. Metal deposits are in that cavern. I'll shout out when I need you.
All right, so it looks like our first, you know, intro to how the controls work.
I'm here soon. Now I hear this is the last dig.
I don't know. I've never, you know, I don't do this a lot, so,
I'm busy.
or I'm kind of new to it, I should say.
Anyone else to bother?
I don't know if it's better to do this in first person or third. Usually I prefer third person perspectives a lot of the time, but Bethesda games, they...
You got a few more digs to go before I feel like talking to you.
Okay. Oftentimes their third person is sort of like this slightly odd off-center. But I don't know if, like, the way I'm going to move around in first person is going to be unwatchable.
Glad we're off this
It's
ride.
time. You're with me.
I'd say it's definitely a step up from Skyrim, but Skyrim at this point is like 13 years old, so...
Let's go. Hella, get the readings.
Yeah, about that.
Problem?
Not if you consider a spike in gravity readings a problem.
I don't.
You don't?
What we're after, it'll read as an anomaly. That's what I was told anyway.
Okay, now you're starting to freak me out.
Relax. It's just another job. Come on.
We're getting close, I think. Yeah, everything is just... Lynn, seriously, there's something really effed up about this.
Where is it, Hella?
Through there, I think.
Okay, you're up. Something goes wrong in there, we'll come get you.
All right.
Why would anything go wrong?
Would you shut up? Both of you do your jobs. Client is on his way.
Okay. So the problem I have with games like this, and I think I've talked about this when I played Elden Ring on the other channels, I tend to get very easily sidetracked trying to see everything.
Weird gravity readings. I guess that's a good thing. Just keep going.
Do you see anything? Dusty, snap out of it.
Come on. Okay, take it easy. You were out cold. No physical damage. Mentally, the jury's still out. You know who you are? New recruit for Argos Extractors? Ring any bells? Any of this look familiar?
All right. Some character creation. Let's see. This guy looks a little bit like, well, maybe it's a bit of a stretch. from The Expanse, the sort of the mechanic that's... Whoa, 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 whoa. I took the rain in Africa. It's definitely like an 80s. Now, usually I don't care about the stuff like this too much. This guy, I don't know if he's doing like a Movember mustache fundraiser or... Yeah, I was going to say, usually I don't care too much, but I feel like with the Demon Souls, I ended up... Oh, whoa. I'm ready for adventure. I guess that says more about... in the future, we still don't take care of our elderly, right? Get back in the mines, sir. Now, in my retirement, I fully expect to be like a greeter or working at McDonald's. I don't expect to have my act together enough to really retire, but I hope I'm not just starting out on my interstellar mining career. Anyway. Can't actually remember if there was one I thought was close enough. Probably was, and maybe I'll... Again, this guy's mustache just screams... and that's why I'm going to choose him. Okay, let's... So it looks like you got some options to go... See, now this guy's starting to look like a sick fuck. All right. I mean, whatever. What is this body type 1, 2? Oh, I see. If you want to go. Oh, interesting. So they don't tie. Okay. I mean, who cares on some level, right? Sort of weird. Well, whatever. So a couple things we're going to do. We're going to, first of all, we're going to lose that hair. How do we pull back of it? So this is like, you know, if you get your hair cut and like, do you want some product? Seems like a lot of those kinds of, okay. This is a lot of, she took everything in the divorce kind of hairstyle going on here. Man buns, I ended up there in Demon Souls, so I'll skip that this time. I don't know what my future haircut's supposed to look like, but a lot of these seems like they're pulled from Unity Engine Central Casting. I know it's not literally that, but they all sort of tend to be the same, and so I actually tend to just go bald because I think all the hair looks stupid. Facial hair, I gotta lose that stash. These all seem like... or do I? Do I have to lose that stash? Let's go with some light fuzz. How much do I want my balding to be male pattern? wish you could cycle back all the way to 1. Oh, well. Whatever. Background. Beast Hunter. Let me think about this for a sec. All right, so it looks like we get some kind of... oh, there might be a lot more than I realized. Okay, Beast Hunter gives you these 3. Okay, I see what they're doing. So over to the right, you've got sort of the basic package. Beast Hunter, Bouncer. Let me see. Combat-matic. I mean, well, yeah. Wonder how much this actually matters, or if it's just one of those things where, like, sure, this gets you started, but like most Bethesda games, you just go off and do whatever you want. I kind of like... Okay, so I'll say this. When I've played games in the past, I tended to go heavy stealth in Oblivion and Skyrim, but that's because I could not stand first-person perspective melee combat. So I would tend to do stealth because that would allow me to do like stealth archer. So part of me is still in that mindset, I gotta say. I guess Space Scoundrel's your classic Han Solo type. I also like the idea of persuasion, because I know like in some of the Fallout games, if you dump a lot of points into like your talkie stats, you know, it can do some interesting stuff. See, this is like close attacks with the melee. Like I really don't know if I want to do melee if it's going to be like the Elder Scrolls games. So let's see. I like the idea of theft. Here's the trick. You know, they give you a lot of options here. It's kind of nice in a way, but at the same time, I don't know what the game is, right? So I don't know what any of this means. Was there one that was like a thief? I'll take Space Scoundrel, right? Okay, then you go over to traits. Alien DNA. Increased health and oxygen, but healing, okay. Okay. I start with a big debt. This is interesting. It's, you know, I've talked a little bit in... What was I playing? Darklands, where like the guy's influence was old school Traveler. This definitely seems to have a little bit of that, a little bit of the life path going on, but then also it has a little bit of the perks and sort of drawbacks. I'm forgetting the actual names, but like, you know, GURPS has this, you know, system I play a lot of recently. Savage Worlds has this where you take something, but you get penalized in another way. And, you know, a lot of games have this kind of thing, but the way, like, I first really encountered it in GURPS, it's a whole game unto itself, like sort of going through the, you know, spending the points to get this and then taking negatives to give you more points, you know. Savage World sort of simplifies that a little bit. Looks like a few religious options. Let me see. Okay, I don't know if that's worth it, the extra damage. I really, Empath, it's not saying that it's actually like a power, but I don't like psionics and that kind of stuff in my sci-fi, but, Okay, so this is interesting. Like, this one I heard of where, like, it's possible to have, literally, as it says here, your parents. So they become NPCs in the world that you can go interact with. I didn't know about the send 2% of your credits home to them every week. I don't know if there's any point to being able to visit them. I don't know if it does anything. Let me see. I guess starting equipment, I guess, could be nice, but again, I have a feeling like the equipment maybe you outpace it at some point. So it feels like just a temporary thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose... I want that neon one, so let's try that. Oh, it looks like, okay, these are optional, so it's not like you have to take these. So this seems arbitrary. You're a people person. Exerting yourself uses less oxygen when adventuring with human companions. It's almost like they're trying to come up with a mechanic, but it doesn't really make any sense. I'm kind of curious. So the thing I tend to like in these games is sort of options, and I feel like taking the parents will open up some stuff. So let's do that. I'm spending too much time on this. Let's just take those two and call it. Okay. Name. Okay, pronoun he, him, fine. Let's confirm and let's get out of here.
Almost forgot about your application. The one note I had on your file was troublemaker. Well, you got the sample. Client's on his way. Then we all get paid. You remember anything that happened? Easy there, high flyer. Probably just the endorphins kicking in when you passed out. Don't go having an experience on me. You'll walk it off. More importantly, we got what we were looking for.
All this trouble for that stupid thing? Huh. Sure don't look like much.
Never mind what it looks like. It's worth more than this mine has pulled in all month. We'll be...
It's sort of interesting. They sort of violated the first-person perspective. There we go.
Constellation contact is on approach.
Wait, the Explorers group? Thought they were kind of a joke.
Not a joke. You're just too young to know better.
Hey, I'm just saying they got a reputation. Hell, I bet half the crew here doesn't even believe they really exist.
Half the crew doesn't believe Earth exists, but it's still there. Same with Constellation.
Yeah, but come on. Exploring space? Who does that anymore? Ain't the space we've already got complicated enough?
Not to them, apparently. All right, Dusty. Airlock. Put your helmet on.
Okay, let's see. Access the area in the lower right to access your inventory. Okay. Gotta equip a helmet. There we go. So one thing I should admit up front. I want to say there's a slight firefly, but you know, that might be more. There's just some logic to the cockpits. But yeah, one thing I was about to say is like one thing that I've always loved, and it's sort of like a holy grail RPG. I've never gotten to really spend the time with it I wanted to, is 2300 AD.
Cowboy? Went on a trip, huh?
Sure did, but the last person that asked me then immediately told me to shut up and disregard what I...
That fun, huh? Not the most gentle push into the great mysteries of space, but hey, been there.
Look, just hand over the credits, and I'll be happy to never see this thing, or you, ever again.
That's why I like you, Lynn. All business.
Barrett, the scanners on the frontier are reporting a ship coming in hot from orbit.
I really thought I lost them.
I like that the robots using colloquialisms like coming in hot. Okay, so it looks like moving jams up your aim, which, okay. Okay, it looks like you can't actually move and shoot. Can I... Just wondering if I could blow that up. Alright, use a health pack by pressing down and then A. Okay, let's see. Alright. So part of the reason why I don't like that sort of offset third-person perspective is that I have a hard time with some stuff like this. But at the same time, I feel like it's easier to look at. Let me see something really quickly. Settings. I want to see keyboard controls. Nope, don't want that. Interface? Nope, don't want that. Basically, I'm trying to see if there is a quick save button on the keyboard. As I mentioned in my Darklands playthrough, I tend to save scum, and I do it proudly. But the thing is, I don't know if Bethesda games ever give you an easy... I can't remember in the PC version of like Skyrim if there was a... I'm going to do a quick save now, but let me just... Classic ones are an F5, F9. That might be a quick load. So let's see if F8, F10. Okay.
Of course Barrett was being followed. Every time.
So what I was going to say earlier is that usually in past Bethesda games, it would always stay in first-person perspective, and when it was on the bed, it actually jumped between the two faces. I don't know if I've ever seen Bethesda game do that before in my experience.
You did good there.
Now that was some fine work under pressure. You dug up the artifact, right? That means you saw it. The visions? You're coming with me to Constellation. You're part of this now. You ever stare up at the stars at night wondering what's out there? Well, that's us. That's where we go. Hey, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but we don't exactly know what the artifact might have done to your head, and Constellation is really the only group qualified to help.
Oh no, Barrett.
So there, like
No.
usually rarely, I've never seen an Elder Scrolls game, a Bethesda game jump.
All right. I guess I did just put you all on the Crimson Fleet hit list. How about I stay and I send your Dusty here in my place? I know, but he's not some miner anymore, Lynn. Soon as he touched that rock, something changed. Don't tell me you can't feel it.
Fine. It's a deal. Get out of here, Dusty. You're on to bigger things.
So then here it tries to return you to your perspective to talk. So that, Mass Effect did it where like it would try and do it cinematically, right? So that it could do that kind of reverse shot in a way that cinematically made sense of it, even if it wasn't like from literally your perspective. But here it's trying to sort of have the best of both worlds.
Now that we've been attacked, we've got to pack up and move on. Argos will come for the rest of us. You get going. Just go. Before I say something I regret.
Well, now that that's settled. Vasco, get him to the lodge. No deviations unless absolutely necessary, okay? Protocol Indigo.
Indigo. Again. Very well.
Oh, and hey, take this. You'll find it very useful out there. And it even tells the time. Hey, look at that. The watch fits you perfectly. Now, questions? Come on.
I also tend to, I should say, try and exhaust all dialogue options, something I learned from Souls games.
Why it only affected you? Because if you didn't notice, we've all been handling it since with no problem. The way I see it, Constellation needs that artifact, but they also need you. This mystery is only getting bigger each step we take. And you're part of it now.
Okay.
Technically, it's not even mine. Consider it alone. Vasco will keep you on course. Besides, I'm making an exception since you can tell Constellation about that vision you had. See, that's the problem with the settled systems. Too easy to take everything for granted. While everyone else is busy playing politics, we're the ones braving the unknown, charting the vastness of space. Without us, the galaxy is just a big room with the lights turned out. That, my friend, is the million-credit question. And Constellation can find the answer, with your help. They're just following the loot, like pirates do. And I have something of a reputation as a loot collector.
All right.
And Vasco, don't let him break my ship.
So for what it's worth, F5 is quick save. There we go. F9 is quick load. So there's one advantage to playing this on a PC over a console. There's just no super quick, elegant, quick save option that I've seen on the console version. I've played the console versions of Skyrim,
Just
Oblivion.
above the ramp, Captain. I'll be in the external robotics bay. It appears you are the new captain of the frontier.
I don't consider myself a writer. I enjoy writing, but I would never consider myself skilled at it.
Captain, I assume you know how to fly a Class A starship. As Barrett likes to say, it's as easy as learning to ride a bike. I will attempt to boost the shields, just in case there are any difficulties.
This is a little reminiscent of Mass Effect 2, where they would have like the planet scanners. That game sort of had like an irritating mini game involved with it, which I did. And there was also something on an app to help unlock all the possible. So yeah, it looks like you can show me. Okay. So that's where we are, I guess. Surface map. Oh, look at that. All right. Okay, zoom in, zoom out. It's the triggers. Okay, gravity well. Okay. So it's definitely trying to do some more hard sci-fi kind of stuff. How much of this stuff plays into the gameplay, I don't know, but okay. So here's, I guess you could set courses. Margreth. We're in the Freestar Collective area of space. Okay. So what I think I should do is hold to exit. That's my problem. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sort of follow, get railroaded here for a little bit just while it explains things to me. Because I have the tendency, I'll just start futzing with everything.
Shields ready. The rest is up to you.
So what I was saying about being a writer and that kind of stuff is it feels like that intro is doing a lot of work. And what I mean by that is,
Now that we are in orbit, it might be wise to test all controls and systems to ensure they are not on the verge of catastrophic failure. I can step you through the entire process, or if you're already an experienced pilot, just power up all the systems, and we'll be on our way.
okay, so it looks like, okay, use left, right, select ship system, up, down to allocate power. That's kind of a nice touch. It goes a little bit back to the old X-Wing games, where you could sort of, you got laser, ballistics, missile, engine, shield, I guess gravity? I don't know.
System on the ship requires power. Allocating power is under your direct control. Let's go over the engines. engines control our maximum speed. Try increasing and decreasing our relative velocity.
Okay.
A ship's engine has a sweet spot for better handling during turns. Draw your
Oh, interesting.
attention to the HUD. You'll notice a speed indicator in the lower left with a gauge that goes up and down as you adjust the throttle. Try to center the gauge so that it lines up with the center of the vertical bars to its right.
Yeah, that's I don't know how common that is in space sims, but that's definitely an Elite Dangerous.
Be engaged for temporary bursts of speed. Let's turn our attention to the shields. Try adjusting power to the shields. Notice more power increases their strength. Shields protect the ship from hull damage. Without a hull, will be vaporized. Shield health is displayed in the lower right. Hull damage is below it.
Looks like I'm at max shields, though. I don't know how you put power into missiles, if that's what that indeed means.
You've proven an adequate pilot. Are you familiar with ship combat tactics? Because that's a Crimson Fleet ship bringing its weapons to bear. We will need to disable their shields. Laser-based weaponry is particularly effective. If you can keep the enemy ship centered on the HUD, we can lock in to fire a home missile. The enemy shields are down, Captain. Ballistic weaponry excels at damaging the hull once shields are offline.
Okay, that makes sense. Hit it with lasers, knocks shields out. You hit it with this gun.
Congratulations on surviving your first Starship assault, Captain. We should search the wreckage for spare parts and other salvage. You will need to fly close to it before we can access the remains.
Tantalum. Shout out to the folks in AAC who like to make fun of me for tantalum because I didn't realize that was a real element when I was doing some 2300 AD stuff, and that was sort of the magic element needed to power the futuristic drives. I was talking about 2300 AD earlier, and the reason why I brought that up.
Fleet ships are jumping into our location, Captain.
The reason why I brought that up is because I love that game, and what I think of this game is probably going to be determined by a lot of things I picture in my head about that. It's okay, so you gotta slow down to do faster turns. You can get it sort of in the... If you can get it in the circle, it sort of tracks your shots for you, which is kind of nice. It makes sense. Like, it seems like having your guns slightly gimbaled to make it a little easier makes sense. This... I'm getting lit up from behind. So this, I could see this controlling very similarly to an old game, Freelancer. Like, you sort of push the edge of the... Freelancer, like, everybody probably poo-pooed it because it wasn't... It's from the guys who did, like, Privateer and stuff like that. And it was meant to be more of a sort of mouse and keyboard, less hardcore kind of experience, but it was a pretty good game.
Crimson Fleet hostility has been far more than anticipated. At this rate, the odds of continual assault from their ships are high enough to jeopardize our mission. In short, they are after the frontier and will not stop. We will need to deal with the local Crimson Fleet captain. A recent scan indicates an abandoned facility on the nearby moon of Crete, a perfect staging area. for pirates.
All right. Open the data from there. There you can open the star map. Okay. Star map. Ship. Star map. There we go. We're looking for... So we can go back. Let's see if it sort of traveled to Crete. Okay. Okay. So let's see how... So I wonder if I could have just flown... Okay.
We have arrived in orbit. The abandoned facility with our Crimson Fleet captain is on the surface.
Okay, open the planet map. Okay. So I respect that it's not trying to be a space sim, right? It's not even like No Man's Sky. You can sort of have some granular control. It's not trying to it's not trying to say right off the bat like, oh, you can fly around like this is Elite Dangerous. It's not doing that. So it looks like I could have gotten up and walked around inside the ship or just fast traveled outside the ship.
According to the scanners, the abandoned research facility is in this direction. Captain, Protocol Indigo dictates that I am to return to the Lodge with no deviations. We are here to stop the Crimson Fleet from pursuit. Nothing more. I have often asked Barrett that same question at various times, and about various individuals that wanted to cause us harm. The most likely answer is that Barrett personally insulted him, typically by continuing to live, usually after escaping from certain death, and often with an object multiple people wanted. Constellation is an explorer's society
exhaust the
founded
dialogue.
over 50 years ago with the mission of seeking out the unknown. Members often engage in expeditions in small groups, typically 1 or 2 people, or like Barrett and myself, 1 person and 1 robot. The membership is intentionally limited and small. Should you join Constellation yourself, you will be the 10th active member. Barrett would say that billions of years ago, we were all one with the cosmos, so technically you have known each other forever. But the more practical answer is likely that he needs you. The number of known people who have been affected by the artifacts is now 2. Without your investment in Constellation's mission, he may never know more about the experience you both share. So he is showing you trust in order to gain your support. Do you require assistance with your items?
So I wonder if it's sort of being like a pack mule, laser cartridges. So maybe he's got some ammo. Okay. So yeah, I keep dancing around 2 points. I keep trying to say 2 different things. One, how much I enjoy this game is probably going to be heavily influenced by how much it sort of plugs into that nostalgia part of my brain for 2300 AD. It's a game that I always wanted to play a lot of and only sort of dabbled in lightly. I'm running a game right now called, it started with the M-Space rulebook. So Silver on the Alcoholic Adventure Cabal. So it tends to be called M-Space, but now it's in Savage Worlds. It's always been sort of heavily 2300 AD inspired, but it's not.
Captain, alien creatures are often unpredictable.
Let's see. Okay, so it gives you a little... Nope. So how do I actually scan? I can take a photo mode. A big part of 2300 AD is sort of the exploration. I'm not trying to do anything, bro. I just want to... Okay. Okay, so it looks like it gives you some places to explore and then your mission. But it also looks like... Okay, can I do anything with that? Okay, interesting. Okay, so it's sort of giving me a path to follow. So I've discovered that there's silver, lead. I forget what the other one was. But I'm not sure how to tag, like, the flora and fauna. I also have to admit, I don't know if it's the... there's something about this perspective that's sort of messing up my head a little bit. I get a little sensitive for the camera's field of view. Now, can I... So I guess the question is, do I have to find more dust root to get more percentage scanned?
Pilot crews, all flying under the same banner. They are typically unscrupulous and violent.
Can't tell if I've already found iron. So there's another route up there. Let me go check that out real quick. So yeah, the third-person perspective was sort of messing me up a little bit. So yeah, the two things. 2300 AD, if this game, you know, sort of evokes that in me, then I'm going to tend to like it. That's part of why I loved Mass Effect so much. Not entirely because I thought Mass Effect was the greatest thing ever. I really enjoyed it, but it was partly because, especially the first one, when you could hop in your, like, your dune buggy from, like, Moon Patrol, the old video game, and, you know, just sort of freely explore around planets. Even if there was nothing there, that didn't actually bother me. And I think that's one of the complaints people have about this game is that, oh, there's just nothing out there. And I don't think that's going to bother me too much. Because So that turns on the light. Just, it's scan as A. Okay. So yeah, is it just a matter of like running around to 10 different ones and until it says you've done 100%? So I don't want to just say like it's, I don't want to oversimplify it in that it's like, you know, this is a little No Man's Sky, right? You run around. So I don't know if I'm... So it's interesting. One of the things that people hated about Mass Effect 2 was the planet scanning. So the question is, did Starfield fall into the same trap just in a slightly different form? Because the thing everybody hated about it was just it was super tedious. So I want to do, like, I fail to scan that first creature. So it's saying robotics, it's switching between robotics and scan. Okay, well, let me just go back up here. So the other point I was trying to get to is that, you know, when it comes to writing, I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination. I did study it a little bit because of my background. I have a film degree. Part of getting the level of film degree that I got requires you to sort of study a little bit of everything, and so I did have to study screenwriting. And while I am definitely not an expert, it is something that I had to sort of brush against, and that opening is doing a lot of work, right? It's trying to sort of introduce the MacGuffin, which was that whatever that disc was. It was trying to find an organic way to do that. Then, but what they want to do is, by the end of like 30 minutes or something, they wanted to obviously have certain boxes checked. They wanted you to have a spaceship. They wanted you to be able to start free roaming. They wanted you to be integrated into the MacGuffin's plot. So that's basically what they were trying to do, right? And so the way they came up of doing it is they have you as a grunt. Then they're also trying to introduce some of the setting, right? So they have like the exposition dumps as you're walking around. They're like, oh God, can you believe that we're in free space? Because if we were in blue space, this wouldn't go. So it's very exposition sort of heavy banter. That's sort of the joke I was making. Then on top of that, it needed to, like I said, accomplish all those things. And so the way they do it is they have you be the guy that finds the disc 2 minutes into the game. You see a quick vision, and then someone out of the blue comes and says, hey, I'm part of a secret society. Would you like to captain your own starship? So, you don't want to spend forever setting up a video game because you want the players to get into it, right? But that's what I was trying to say, like that opening was trying to do a lot of work. I don't know if that's... And what I mean by that is it might have been a little clunky. And again, I don't claim to be an expert writer, so I wouldn't say, so what you should have done is A. I just know that there were a lot of boxes that they wanted to check in a certain amount of time, and like what happens if you flip it around? Well, I just said you don't, what if you do A, but like say you're already part of the constellation. I know it seems like, well, but how would you know what it is? But
United Colonies markings, but we are in Freestar Collective space. It then stands to reason that this was once a secret UC facility.
but I already don't know what anything is anyway. So like, you're going to have to figure out a way to explain to me one way or another, I guess. But maybe the plot points don't have to do as much heavy lifting. If that makes sense. Is there a way to... So, chunk by chunk. This looks like a book, but... I thought in the other games you could just read it without taking it. So anyway, that's just... Can I scan that thing? Interesting. So it won't let me scan that, even though it seems to be fauna. Okay, I see. So it doesn't look like it... you can sort of get a read on what you can interact with, but it's not 100% clear. Digipix. One thing I've heard is that this game has like a really awesome lockpicking system, and I think I've seen it in action, and if it's what I was watching, I agree. It was awesome. That was really kind of cool without deviating too far from like a typical... So here's an interesting thing. You have to have this scanner up. Okay, it's not letting me... In order to be able to see this, including things like following the path and stuff like that. I wonder, I guess this is sort of a way to make it a choice, but it seems like this is something that could have been on your HUD. I know, man, there's a series of video games. There's 3 of them where like the whole point is it's like a survival horror, and you have to like dismember... Dead Space? Is that what it's called? And they sort of had a really cool way of integrating a lot of stuff into your HUD as you ran around. But this way, I guess it lets you have a choice. Like, do you want these indicators to help you out or not? Let me see something. What I'm looking for is a field of view system. Settings, display. Looks like stuff's pretty high up. That's nice. Gameplay? No. Interface? No. Accessibility? Oh yeah, no, I don't want to toggle. Okay. I guess I should quick save. I don't know when the last time I did that. Okay. I forget which way I was going. I think I was going this way. Okay, so this is interesting. Can you open the door with your scanner, or do you have to close the scanner and then open the door? So again, like, what if you had that in your HUD instead of having to bring up a scanner to sort of get basic information? Okay, so I feel like I'm hearing voices.
Yeah? Get better. Rogan said if you see anything that isn't a fleet, it dies. You hearing me?
Okay, so you can take cover and it'll sort of, I guess, arbitrarily pop you up from behind cover.
Eradicated all nearby enemies.
In that sense, the shooting feels pretty good. But on the flip side,
We must defeat them.
let's see if I can... Maelstrom. That's what I was sort of wondering. Did I pick up a... Let's give that a shot.
The terror morphe's loose. I repeat, the terror morphe's loose. 2 guys engaged. If you can reach Oh man, that was the best. Classic United Colonies. Put something in a game.
So I don't know if I should be trying to take these...
One more time.
Okay, so yeah, here's the lockpick minigame. Fill in all open slots in every layer to open the lock. Select a key and rotate until it lines up in the gap. So what you need to do is you need to pick a lock, and it's got to line up over the holes, right? So if it's not this one, how do I... So there you go. There's one. What you can do is you can collect different shapes, right? So now I might not be able to do... There you go. So now, but then you can do 2. So you're trying to find... And it can go, and the harder it is, the more layers you have to do, and you can collect different shapes as you go. The one I saw, the guy had like 12 or 13 different shapes, and one of them like seemed like it could be really handy. It was just a singular one. So even if you couldn't get it perfect, you always, if you just get it down to 1, you could just use that singular one to slot it.
This guy down! What was that?
I have detected hostile life nearby.
Guess if I'm going to duck, I should actually take cover, not just duck for its own sake.
Getting shot. You might die. In combat, there is a high likelihood of human death. We have lost them.
All right, is this going to be like a... You know, sort of Deus Ex, the old computer games, were really good about this kind of thing where they would do sort of environmental storytelling with the email systems and computer screens. I mean, a lot of games have done that. And Fallout did that too, but just Deus Ex came before it. Okay, nice. You know, I don't know if that's... I'm hoping that's just flavor text. So, like, when I pop this scanner, there's so much stuff to see that I'm hoping most of it's...
Often yells, pew, pew, pew. I am not sure why. I am no longer detecting enemy activity in this area.
But yeah, shooting feels pretty good, all things considered. I'm always surprised that, like... Oops, how do I, Nope. Nope. What I want to do is this, and switch to a different weapon. So I think I'm out of ammo for the other one. So I might have missed it in all my, like, running out of ammo. Did the...
Enemy activity detected at close range. I am aiming for your center of mass.
I could... Well, one thing I should say, I'm pretty terrible at shooting. I know using the gamepad probably is not helping, but...
You appear to be prioritizing our deaths over your own survival.
So I think it was trying to tell me what was in the storage box without, because like in the older games it would say like if it was an empty container it would say that. So that hopefully continues. That's always maybe not realistic, but a little quality of life thing. Plunger, baby. In space, no one can hear you clog. Ba-dum-cha.
I'm detecting a safe nearby. We could make use of whatever is inside, provided you had some digipics and a disregard for personal property rights.
Still not letting me scan this thing, right? Let's give it a shot. Oh, I see. It shows you the other. Okay. Is it showing you the only the lockpicks that are gonna work? All right, so here we go. Okay.
You gotta be kidding me. The Frontier has a new captain? You working with Barrett, or did you pry the ship keys out of his cold, dead hands?
See, that might have actually been more.
Oh no, you see, we weren't really after Barrett. We're after that ship. Every Crimson Fleet rook hears about the Frontier. That constellation keeps treasure hidden in the cargo bays. The loot from 100 planets.
That statement is partially correct. The Frontier has been to many planets and moons, but the only things held in the cargo bays are spare parts, dust, desiccated food particles, and a variety of species of ant.
I don't care what kind of lies Barrett programmed that robot to say. We're taking that ship. You're not talking us out of...
Okay, to persuade a person, you need to make successful choices. Okay. You have a limited number of choices you can make, but you can never fail if your last choice succeeded. Okay, so I have... Oh, interesting. Okay. So it looks like on the bottom I have like 3 turns to get 4 points. This is sort of like a classic extended sort of conflict, or like they have these in like Blades in the Dark, where you have to sort of fill the wheel. You have these in Savage Worlds, which has like a similar kind of mechanic where you sort of fill up a wheel in a certain number of turns by doing successes. So do I start small so that I'm guaranteed a success, or do I go a little bigger?
I've heard enough out of you.
Okay. Okay, I need to be able to get some cover. Ooh. No. All right, so hopefully there's an autosave there. Nice to know the ragdoll still doesn't quite work in a Bethesda game. So the trick is, I don't know how I'm doing on health. Health's at half, so let's see if I can heal up. I'm trying to see where that's indicated. I'm guessing it's somewhere on that lower left, but I'm not sure what's telling me, yo, your health is okay.
You gotta be kidding me.
Okay.
We don't have a problem with Barrett. We want that ship. Oh no, you see,
So, yeah,
That statement is partially
doesn't make
correct,
any
but
sense
the
to...
only things held in.
I don't care what. You're not talking a.
Okay, let's try a 1.
Don't give me that. I know that ship is stocked with loot.
So I couldn't. I guess that other one. Let me. What does an auto persuade do?
You're lying. We're getting what's on that ship.
So I don't think any of these are working.
You willing to give up the ship? Just like that? Nobody wants that.
Okay.
Can't believe this. There isn't any treasure. We've been trailing that old Constellation ship for nothing. Get out of here. Take your robot and your ship and get out of here. I see you all again, you're dead.
We should now be free to travel to Constellation's headquarters without Crimson Fleet interference.
Okay, so look for the map icon of your ship and press A over it. Okay. Okay, no path scenes. Maybe I gotta go down. Okay.
Captain, to reach the lodge, we must jump to the planet Jemison in the Alpha Centauri system, and then land in the city of New Atlantis. Do not worry, this will all become second nature before too long.
Okay, so you don't have to take off. You can fast travel directly from the missions menu. So what I could see that doing is when you're 200 hours into the game, I could see like, yeah, okay. It does seem like now, like I was saying, the more it evokes that 2300 vibe, the more I'm going to get into it. So part of me doesn't want to flit around on fast travel quite so much, but I could see how you're going to want to do that. Let me see. So what I'm going to do is, let me quick save. And I think I'm going to call this session out. I'm just going to say a few quick things. First of all, I need to figure out the field of view because, and if I can't, that might be a problem because I'm actually getting a headache from playing the game, and I'm not sure what to do about that. Second of all, I got to say, as far as an introduction to the game goes, this is a tricky thing. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I think it wants you to take the, you know what, don't worry about that. We'll figure that out later. Like the flora, fauna scanning stuff, right? It didn't explain that at all. There's a lot of things going on that I genuinely have no idea what to do with. And so I don't know what the answer to that is, but I do know that I'm sitting here just clicking stuff and just shooting, but I'm not, it's not getting, for all of the, it wants to do 10 different things in the first 30 minutes where you end up being the captain of your own ship. It's not actually introducing me into the game itself. It's trying to check these plot points because it wants to be a certain type of game, but it didn't start as that certain type of game, if that makes sense. And so, yeah, but the field of view is going to be the main thing because, it's actually difficult for me. Like, my intention was actually to do, like, a stupid late marathon session of this and see where I got, but, I don't know if I can. So, anyway, thank you very much for jumping in. Again, this is Black Lodge Trivia Night. Find this stuff on the YouTube channel. If you're looking for audio versions of our podcasts, our actual plays of tabletop RPGs, just search for Black Lodge Trivia Night wherever you get your podcasts. And hopefully I can figure out the field of view and we'll do some more Starfield. But it's not like a oh my god kind of opening for me. With the field of view and sort of the kind of clunky approach to just dropping you into the middle of things and sort of, I don't want to say hand waving it, but just being like, we're just going to get you there and it doesn't matter, just overlook this sort of blah opening because we'll just assume these things and then we'll get you the good stuff. So, story wise and, systems wise, because, it's not an enviable position because they have a ton of systems they probably want to have going on. Even little things like this panoramic should be slower. That's going around too fast. Anyway, so thanks a lot, and we'll check back in hopefully sometime soon. And I'm going to do this one off camera because it makes it a little easier in case I have to step away for a minute or take care of other stuff. So it helps me be able to get more playing in when I don't have to worry so much about being interrupted. When I'm on camera, interruptions become a much bigger deal. So thanks a lot and take care, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.